you know, vague but exciting. And so that was probably a big understatement. But basically he was allowed to go on and develop this, and then in the early 90s when it started to take off, you know, we're talking about something in 93, only 500 servers were running the web. To take distributed computing, which is actually a very old topic, it's been around since the early days of computing, to a global scale. So in about 1997. But we're also making sure that it gets spun off, first and foremost to other sciences, and I won't go through a lot of examples here, but in many sciences there are needs for large amounts of data to be stored and analyzed. In healthcare, for example, X-rays, PET scans, and so on, if hospitals could share the resources that they have, they do store a large amount of digital data. If they could share it, you could do better prognosis of, say, rare diseases or particular forms of cancer or so on. So, in brief, we have three activities. We have a core activity, the LHC computing grid. I think the name explains itself. It's getting this grid running for the LHC. But then we have a EU-sponsored activity called EGE, which is where we're trying to spin off this technology to other sciences. So this is the EU with 91 institutions, not just in Europe, but in North America and Asia, also collaborating to make a multi-science grid. So we have biologists using it, geophysicists, many fields of science are already using it in a quite significant way. And then we have an activity which is more like a futuristic R&D activity with industry called CERN Open Lab, a 27-kilometer racetrack, and then at 4 points on that track, these two proton beams which are going in opposite directions are deflected so that they actually hit head-on. In fact, not all of them hit head-on. There's this like pencils of protons, billions in each sort of little pencil-like bunch, and as they actually fly through each other, just a few hit head-on. But this huge detector that's being built around the collision point is then there to pick up what happens when protons hit head-on. From an IT point of view, what is that detector? It's 150 million sensors, and they're being read out very rapidly, 40 million times a second, 25 nanosecond spacing. So that's a huge amount of information. In fact, if we were to store all that, you know, we would fill all the data storage in all the world pretty quickly. So we can't do that, simply for economic reasons. Fortunately, we can do a lot of filtering. I'll come back to that. What are we really after here? Well, we're after images of the collisions, with fireworks like this. So the particles hit, and if they hit really head-on, which is what we like, the energy, E equals mc squared, the energy is turned into mass. They can create a new particle, a particle of high mass that's not stable in our universe today, but was stable in the origin of the universe.
So what you can actually see here is part of the muon detector. And here is another part of the muon detector being constructed. The parts are lowered down the shaft and they're attached to the support structure on the wall. They're all put together, cabled up, etc.
And so this is like multi-layers at that point?
Yeah, there's two what we call the SCT, the TRT, all acronyms. The electromagnetic calorimetry, the hadron calorimetry, and then the muon detectors again. The key feature is that for maintenance and repairs, this all has to be able to be moved. Okay, so you imagine you have all the cables for the signals. Yeah, so you can see there the rails, the orange. There's a rail there, it's there, and from that rail each side of the two big wheels are suspended.
Pointing the red. So that's the interior?
There's two like this at each end.
Yeah.
And they're suspended on those rails there.
And what's the 2 or 3? That's the whole
That's right. Once again, block will be lowered down, inserted in place, and then the both will be moved back. So this moves as well.